Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video I'm going to go over the trades that we took today inside the Discord as well as the game plan going into tomorrow. So today, very choppy day, really not much opportunity when it comes to SPY. Going into this week we knew market was neutral. How do we know this? It's very simple. We go to the 30-minute on the Friday contracts and if the 10 SMA is above the 50, we're trending. If the 10 is below the 50, we're neutral. So on the call side, what do we see? 10 SMA, which is the green, is below this 50 SMA, which is the blue, and that means we're neutral on the call side. We flip to the puts, and you can see the same thing on this side. The 10 SMA here is below the 50. We're not crossed, so that means we're neutral on the put side. Overall, market's neutral. And you can see what happens when we pop up near this 50 SMA on the 30-minute when we're neutral. It's a key pivot point in the market, and right off the open, we were pushing right into that 50, and most likely that was going to reject because of how sloped down this 50 is. And the trade to kind of look for in this scenario is either take a low risk position at that 50 and go long, or you could wait for the 5-minute chart to go negative to take this rejection. So you can see here right off open, just wait for this chart to go negative. So you can see we end up going negative right here, but I mean, with how this trade was, the risk I don't think was the best on this trade. When we're neutral, I tend to just sit out. Most of the time until we get a cross in a neutral market, I'm not taking really any trades. I'm just looking for that cross on the one side of the premium on the 0-day chart, and that's pretty much all I'm looking for in a neutral market. I've really been sitting out of the negative crosses. I just feel like my probabilities are so much higher of winning once I just wait for that 0DT cross. So if we pull up the 5-minute here, you can see what the opportunities were throughout the day. I'm gonna pull up the put side first because we opened lower today. So if we pull up the puts, you can see on the 5-minute, this chart, obviously there's no cross that happened. A little bit of a chop fest in this area. We kept wicking off this 50, wicking down, wicking back up, wicking down, wicking up, and then we finally slowly grinded higher. And I'm not trying to sit around in this price action, so I didn't take any trades when it comes to SPY today. I didn't even take this cross that happened right here. You could have taken it. Obviously you have to wait for this 50 SMA to curl up or flatten. So you can see 10 went above the 50 here, but guess what? This 50 SMA is sloped down super hard, and it didn't curl until like one of these candles up in here. Either is probably these two candles. At this point though, like, I'm not even taking this trade, to be honest with you. I just not, the price action's not piquing my interest at all, and we have CPI tomorrow, so I just thought sit out a SPY today. Something that I do like to do when we are neutral is just focus, like put my focus somewhere else. If I just go and look on like the individual tickers, I could probably catch a good setup over there. There's a million stocks out there that you could take like these crosses off of, and that's kind of what I've been putting my focus towards when we are neutral. So I just feel like there's better opportunity elsewhere instead of just trading this SPY chart. So for me today, I didn't take any trades when it comes to SPY. You could have played this little cross. You would have been up some points, but at this point, it is just getting super choppy up in this area, and I don't know. This probably would have been like a break-even trade for you if you took it, but not something that I took today. I just didn't want to trade this neutral action, and I know we have CPI tomorrow, so most likely we are gonna chop. That's just how it is when it comes to big news events in the market. Usually the day before like a big event like CPI, we do get some chop, and that was the case today. So nothing for SPY for me today. I did take a loss when it comes to options, and I did go over the setups that I did like. So Nvidia number one. Again, this chart still looks pretty good. If we pull up the 30-minute on the July 18th contracts, you can see right off of open what happened. Yeah, we ended up pulling down into this 50 SMA area. I told you guys to watch the open to see if we could actually long this thing, and obviously Nvidia ended up gapping down, closing below the 50, so there's no entry given there on that chart. If we pull up the daily chart, again, this is kind of just a weird looking chart. This chart really doesn't tell us much. It's an ugly looking chart. So pretty much you got to wait for this 30-minute here to get a cross going again for Nvidia to be a good long. If we pull up, what else do we have here? This is the August contracts, I believe. Or no, this is July 11th. My bad. This isn't even the right ones. But if we pull up, what else we got? UAL. This is another good looking setup that I do like. If you look here, this 4-hour chart is crossing. 50 is, it's still sloped down a little bit. But if we did get the 30-minute chart to cross on here, I mean, see, this is another weird looking setup because this 50 is already trending up hard. I do like the upside on this chart. I mean, it's a very, very good looking ticker. This week's contracts are looking to cross on the daily, and we're just gonna have to see. It's kind of a waiting game to see if this will actually cross in the next day or two. And if it does, this is gonna absolutely fly. And if it doesn't, obviously, it's probably gonna put it on top and close below that 10 SMA. But you know, UAL, it is one that I'm watching. The entry on this one is gonna have to be a little bit different because you know, we're gonna need this 30-minute chart to cross. I hope this 50 SMA could like curl back down a little bit or just like level out, so then we could take that 30-minute cross, and you know, it'll be a pretty nice entry point if we get it, because when the 50 SMA is like sloped up like this, it does sometimes get weird with the crosses, and you know, most of the time I'm sitting out of those depending on how it looks. But again, if this 50 SMA could just, you know, flatten out a little bit and then we could cross on the 30-minute, I'm going to be long in UAL. Good looking chart on the higher time frames. You can see we bounced off the 2 hour. I'm not sure what the 1 hour is looking like. We got back above the 10, the 50 on the 1 hour, and then obviously 4 hours crossing, and then this daily chart is looking across as well. So UAL, decent looking setup. Just got to wait for that 30-minute chart to cross. And then if we pull up the August contracts for UAL, again, if we pull up the 4 hour, it did just cross here on the 4 hour time frame. 50 is level, and obviously on the daily there's no 50 SMA, so this doesn't really tell us much. So that will happen. There's gonna be some charts that you pull up that don't have a 50 SMA on certain time frames, and you know, there's nothing you could really do about it. But yeah, those were some looking good looking setups that I did like. I don't have CVX. Oh yeah, here's CVX. This is what I took a loss on. So it's pretty simple. If we pull up this chart, I don't think I have the August ones yet on the watch list right now, but so if we pull up this 30-minute chart, I told you guys CVX I was pretty bullish on because this 30-minute chart was crossed, and then the August 15th contracts were crossed on the daily. I'm still bullish on CVX. All I'm doing is waiting for this chart to cross again on the 30-minute, and then we're going to take another entry, because I'm going to try and find the chart really quickly. But you know, when the higher time frames on the monthly contracts are crossed on the daily time frame, like, you just gotta wait for the 30-minute cross. Most of the time it's gonna net a nice move, and unfortunately I just missed the like initial entry on it. So I was just gonna buy a dip at the 50. That's exactly what I did today, and we just got stopped out on it. It was a bigger loss for me, so I gave the entry at 0.45 on the Friday contracts for this week, and we closed below the 50 at probably just above like 0.30 on the contract. So what is that, like 35% loss? I actually ended up closing it for 60 because I did not see, I didn't see it. I was not on the chart at the time, so I was busy and wasn't able to manage it. But you know, it still wasn't, you know, too crazy of a loss. I mean, I did, yeah, 60%. It seems like a lot, but like when we're catching these like 100+ percenters, it really isn't. You know, most of the time I'm not getting that much drawdown anyways. But yeah, I'm trying to find CVX. I got way too many like charts pulled up here, so this might actually take a minute to find. But all right, here's the August 15th one's daily chart. It's a really good looking chart still. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we did go higher on this. I mean, this is just a pullback in the trend. I mean, we finally got the daily chart crossing on CVX. We pulled back to the 10 SMA today. It ended up wicking up to 231 in the contracts. If we look at the higher time frames, I mean, we pulled back to this 4 hour sloped up super hard. I still really like this setup. If we could get a 30-minute to cross again, I will slap it very hard because I love this setup. So yeah, we just have to wait for the 30-minute chart for the July 18th contracts to cross, and this will be another go. I mean, you know, I don't really care if we took a loss. Like, if we get the cross again, I'm taking it. Higher time frames stay higher. So you know, the good thing about this is you can either buy the dip to the 50 with like one to 2 month out contracts and play a little safe, or you just wait for the 30-minute chart to cross on the Friday contracts to give you that confirmation. So what I like to do is, if you're playing the 50 SMA bounce on the daily chart and you're just buying this dip down in here, go like 1 to 2 months out, just so you could have some time on your hands. I wouldn't go with the nearest Friday expiration, just because it could take a little bit to play out. And then once we do get that 30-minute chart to cross on the nearest Friday contract, then that's when you hammer the like shorter expiration. That's where you can really milk out some percentage points. And obviously, the closer you are to the Friday, like the Friday expiration, the more the contracts will move. So You could really get some crazy percentage moves on these contracts. But that's kind of how I'm playing it. Like if I'm buying the daily 50 dip, go 1 to 2 months out, and then if I'm playing the 30-minute cross, I'm going with the nearest Friday expiration. So that's a little bit about how I trade these charts with expiration goes, and that's what we did today. Game plan for tomorrow for SPY, it's very, very simple. I mean, tomorrow we do have CPI, so who knows what that's going to do to the market. But in the meantime, market is neutral still, 10's below the 50 on both sides of the premium. And then tomorrow, again, if we get a cross on one of the sides of the premium, if the 10 goes above the 50 on the call side, we're trending bullish. I'm only going to be focused on longs. If we get it across on the put side, then I'm only going to be focused on shorts. It's pretty simple, 0 DT cross in whatever direction the trend is going. And if we're still neutral tomorrow for some reason, then a cross on either side will work. So that's the game plan going into tomorrow. That's what we did today. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub. If you guys want to learn, join Discord down below. But that's all I got. I'm out. Peace.